Okay, here's what I've been working on recently. This is a touchpad that I've turned into an interactive nightlight, essentially. So it's a touchpad with a microchip on it, and the touchpad responds to touch, and it has little LEDs underneath each button so they can light up independently of each other. So if I press a button, any button, it wakes up and goes into command mode, which is basically the Super Mario color pattern. If I want to turn the nightlight on, I can press the first button and it goes to all white, so it's easier to read by. If I then press another button, it comes back to the command mode. The second button here lets me pick brightness level, so I can go, oh, I want a medium brightness, and it comes back to the command prompt, and then I can switch on the light to all white again, and back to the command screen. This button lets me switch between different colors of the buttons, so each button can cycle through the rainbow spectrum back to black, and then to red, blue, to purple, to teal. I can just keep pushing different buttons here to cycle through the various colors as long as I want, and then I can press this button up here on the microchip and it goes back to the start screen. Let's see, the next button over should cycle between different colors, different brightnesses of the colors that have been selected in the past. And it will just keep going dim to bright to dim to bright. Let's see, press a button, it comes back to the command screen. This next one lets me select a color to make all the buttons the same color. So if I press this blue one, all the lights go blue. And then back to the command screen. If I select color again, I can select green, all the buttons go green, and back to the command screen. Let's see, next one over, number 5. This causes all the buttons to go to a random color and then go light and dark and light and dark. So each time I press that button, it'll switch to a different set of colors. Let's see, next one. If I press button 6 here, all the lights turn off, and then when I press a button, all the lights around it turn into a random color. So if I just keep pressing this button, all the lights around it change to a random color. Sometimes I get the same color, sometimes I get a different color. And then I can press this button up here, it takes me back to the command screen again. See, this one, button number 7, if I press a button, it lights up, everything else goes dark, and every time it's a random color. So I can just keep pressing different buttons and it just follows wherever my finger goes and displays a random color. And back to the command screen. Let's see, moving on to number 8. This is basically an adaptation of the Matrix theme where white water drops flow down the screen and leave a rainbow of colors behind, and then they slowly fade out, and then more raindrops fall from the top of the screen. And this just keeps going until I press a button. Next one over is a bouncy ball. And it's always a random color, and then it just bounces around the screen. There it goes. Sometimes it kind of gets stuck for a minute bouncing in the same spot, and then it wanders off and bounces somewhere else. This next one is tricky. This one allows me to play tic-tac-toe. So if I press a button here, it responds. I press another button, it responds. Tie turns this square to blue and then back to the main screen. If I do that one again, I might be able to win a game. There we go. And the button turns red when I win because my color was red. Next one over is also a little complicated. This is a memory game. So it will light up a series of buttons, and then it expects me to press those same buttons in the same order. And it will just keep adding more and more and more buttons, getting me to follow the pattern until I make a mistake. And then it turns red and goes back to the command screen. Let's see, this button here turns everything into a random rainbow, and then it just stays that way. Now, where this can be useful is if I go back to the command screen and then switch to, see, I think it's this one. It remembers what that random pattern was, and then I can change it using the option to just cycle through the various colors. And back here. And then if I want to, I can pick another collection of random colors. And back to the main screen again. This one will show a white light that will slowly fade over the span of 10 minutes. So it's basically a timer. It starts out really bright, and then it will slowly dim over the next 10 minutes until the light finally goes out. And if we press a button, it'll start over again with the brightest setting, and then slowly count down again over 10 minutes. And we can interrupt it by pressing the button on the microcontroller. Next to last, this one kind of does the opposite, where if we push it, it shows this grid, and we can select how long we want this thing to turn off. So if I press this button, it turns itself off for an hour and then turns the light on bright white. If I press this one, it goes to sleep for 2 hours. If I press this one, it will go to sleep for, I think it's 10 hours, up to 16 hours with this one, where it just turns off and then waits 16 hours, and then it will turn itself back on. So if you know you want to wake up in 8 hours, you can press this button and then go, I want to turn back on in 8 hours. Off it goes. It'll come back later. And last but not least, this one just turns it off and leaves it off. So yeah, interactive nightlight that you can play games with and change to any color you want.